When is your own account?
Get seat.
You can get order now.
I'll be ready.
Luke
He is letting me know.
Take some seat. It's gonna be in commissioners.
Yeah, okay, you're good.
General.
Okay, County General, Department 68, under Commissioners, as of right now. So, that is part of the discussion is, should this be a standalone department? And outside of the Commissioners? And then, which I can create that, but as of right now, it's still in Commissioners. So they have the one line item that is $12,000. And then they have, the Secretary, Soil and Water, which is currently at 39,641, and then part-time Soil and Water at 3,000.
All right.
Now, Jeff,
Well, all I'm asking for this year is just an increase in Kristen, our supervisor or our. The secretaries, how you put it?
that's what it's technically labeled right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she would be our secretary of the office, but she's really the office manager.
Yes.
Okay.
This is it right here.
Okay,
I'm sorry, glad y'all get on the same page.
Yeah,
Y'all
we're-
fine.
yep, got it.
You got it?
Yep.
We all on the same page then?
Yes.
All right,
We're trying.
that's fine. I know it's late in the day. We'll get you going here. Looking for an increase for her salary. I'm not asking for any more as far as our budget goes. Just looking for an increase on hers. She is the sole supervisor or the only employee we have out there. She does pretty much the jack of all trades. She's our. There's nobody else out there to take care of what we do. So she takes care of all the accounts, books, writing grants. She's wrote over $500,000 worth of grants for the counties and surrounding counties here. And she takes care of all of those. By writing those grants, she's also brought more funding into our county as well. Because we get a percentage for doing that. And that goes into our budget, which we have a county grant for all the producers here, and she helps manage that as well. She's wrote a grant to get us another grain drill or seeder. So we currently have 3 out there, the county does. That we can rent out for county residents and surrounding residents. And she's put together for me a nice little. I got all sorts of little grants here. But she's just looking to kind of getting up to maybe first or second deputy pay, what we're kind of shooting for. Like I said, we've got surrounding counties. She's the only one in there. A lot of the other counties just have one, or not one, but they have 2 or 3 people in the office. And like I said, she's on the low end of all of those.
Do you happen to, just curious, we love to compare to other counties for a lot of things. Sometimes obviously counties our size, not necessarily neighboring counties.
I've got both right here.
Okay, great.
I'll tell you
We're looking
what,
at for a lot of
I
things,
will
having
pass these
certain
around.
positions.
You can come take a look. One of them is with similar population in the county surrounding. And then she's got it broke down to where there's her salaries of what they're doing.
And Jeff, how many, does she have the ability to work remotely, and how many hours do you think she puts in, or what are her office hours?
She is doing she puts in right around, I think, is it, where you guys, the commissioners, it's 35 hours is what she's doing. She does field calls after hours and takes care of that as well. She has her phone on her and is available, so I think a lot of her calls, if they go to the office, they are forwarded to her phone, especially during like wanting to rent the drill out and all that, so she's taking care of that even after hours
Okay.
as well, and lining all that up.
So you say she writes grants and has secured grants,
Yes.
but also for other counties?
So what we do is we partner with some of the others. So like some of these grants, the one that we're talking about now, we partnered with, Clark County and Scott County. And we've got a grant. We took, we got 45, Clark got 45, and, Scott got the balance, I think was at 30, something like that, for the first year. And then after the first year, the grant's good for, 2 years, it's open, and 3 years to pay out. After the first year, those funds get now dedicated to anybody. So, and Jefferson County has taken a lot more of those, so Clark County didn't use all their funds up. Scott County didn't use theirs up, and so now that went into open. And our producers here, our residents were able to capture some of that. So we do some of the cost sharing. I say that she's done at least 3 of those. She wrote the grant for the drill. We got, more than the majority of that paid for as well, over half of that. So paid for, by her writing that grant there. And, like I said, she's also, by taking care of those grants, it would be in the secretary for those grants as well, and writing out all the payments. We are entitled, or our office gets compensated. By doing that, we get that money, and that goes into our fund to then disperse throughout the Jefferson County here, so. Like I said, we have a county grant, whenever we can't use, Clean Water Indiana or anything like that. We will fund that grant, and those practices are open for anybody in the county, so you can, as long as you follow the Clean Water Indiana practices, we'll pay out on that as well. As long as you follow their guidelines, and we've done that, I think, our county grant, if I remember right, we've put out over 35,000 or better into that. It's on pause right now because we still have Clean Water Indiana money. When that runs out, we'll open that back up to county residents again. And, our money will be funding that as well. So. And she takes care of all of that. Like I said, goes above and beyond on that part. Like I said, she didn't have to write any of these grants, but she likes to, and it does dual purpose. She gets to, have her hand in writing grants, and it goes great for Jefferson County. So she's done quite a bit of work for that. Now, I think she's over the Pollinator Action Group, which was one of the things we have. I'm sure you've seen some of their stuff around here. Ivy Tech, some of the schools and all that. She is the chairperson for that. And, like I said, has her hand in quite a bit of things. Here's our county funding. This is the total funding that used, like I said, you're looking at total funding of over $500,000. Local total, 445,000, but we do quite a bit. So the total funding that she's brought in or helped bring in is over 500,000 just in our area. So we're our county as well, we have access to that kind of money.
Is the part-time money,
That's for our intern. So,
oh, that's right.
yeah, we have a summer intern, and,
So I have-
to make it more competitive, a couple of years ago, we went from, I think we increased to 3,000. So. But like I said, she's a one-man show out there, and, like I said, we hate to, not that we would lose her, but like I said, the salary that she has now, if she was to leave, we'd have to increase to get the next one, and I don't wanna lose her or anything, but on the other hand, I wanna keep it competitive, is what we're looking for. So, here's I can go ahead and pass these out. This is a salary for soil and water funding. That's kind of the overall, what we kind of looked at there. Those are some salaries. So, like I said, she's ran a lot of our groups, ran a lot of the education portion for Clean Water Indiana, doing some of that kind of stuff. And she promotes that throughout the county here with Ag Day and, the fair and all of that stuff as well. But yeah, like I said, we're not asking for an increase in our salary or our funds this year or anything. I'm here on the behalf to see what we can do for that. So, for her salary.
You've been a great advocate for her, Jeff.
Well,
I mean,
I tell you what, we've had a lot of great ones. She's I think the third, secretary that we've had out there. And, both of the ones that were before that moved departments within the county, so, before. So, like I said, she's a great asset for us, and like I said, that's just, we don't wanna lose them. And
Well,
like I said, we won't be, and I just wanna make it competitive too, so. But, for like the next time, this comes up, we're gonna have to. I don't like and I've had that at other jobs where it's like, oh, well. Somebody talks about leaving out, well, we'll give you $2 more an hour. It's like, why didn't you do that before? And so I just want to kind of keep it competitive to where we're kind of just making it, beneficial for everybody.
if she leaves, we're not gonna get anybody else.
No, no. And like I said, that's why we're just trying to, make it a little more competitive and, keep her in line. So it's even within the county offices as well.
So this is when was the meeting that I came? Was it a March meeting? It was
I think
pretty
so.
early in the
It
year.
was, March.
And so I went to the meeting and I talked with her and the issue, and I haven't forgot about you guys. I actually called her a couple of months ago. And I've been behind the scenes looking at things and talking to fellow councilmen and talking to the commissioners, trying to figure out, one of our big concerns is changing salaries.
Right, no, it's just her.
One of our big concerns is we're always real hesitant to change It's not that it hasn't been done before, but you run into a lot of problems when you change salaries middle of the year.
Yeah,
But on the other end of it, it seems like she may have slipped. Somehow we,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, it's easy with the line item she got, it's easy to see
Yeah,
how
we
it
probably
falls.
should have just reclassified her as first deputy.
Mhm.
Right. But,
Yeah.
There's
there's
no first and second deputy there, it's just.
Yeah.
Her.
Yeah, it's
So-
just her. And like I said, we're just, I'm being her advocate today, but not only for her, but just for our office in general. Cause like I said, whoever I have to get the next time, I'm gonna be behind the 8 ball and we're gonna be having this conversation about what can we do to.
And you're not gonna be able to replace her
Right.
probably. So would that be would that make her a department head? How would we classify that?
Okay, so. So technically, so right now, like her clock-ins and clock-outs and vacation days and all of that are being ran through the commissioner's office.
Correct.
And by state board of accounts standards, if you're not an elected official or, you would still need someone to be oversight of your fund. So then there would still need to be someone, so if we make this a separate department, then it might be something as much as you having a login to approve her time
Okay.
like whenever, and then that way there is that oversight of the actual department and not, because like Sarah was doing it and
Yeah.
Sarah's like, well, I don't know, I don't talk to any of these people, like, so, that would be good that there was oversight of that. And then, you guys would just submit your budget at that point, and then council would review it. I'll be honest, I went on a tangent one day I'm like, okay, I need to understand this because I feel like since I've been here, people have just always been like, we have to give a certain amount of money or we don't get a grant. And I'm like, what is this? Like no one ever knew. So I went on this big tangent of what is the county's requirement? What do we have to do? And then I found out that all these counties do things so different. Like there's not one that is comparable. You can't really even compare from people to county because of all the differences in how they fund. Cause a lot of the departments rent from,
Yeah.
and then I kind of remembered back, I think we used to fund $8,000 cause we paid that rent for everyone to be up at the FSA office, yeah. So, and then we provided a place, but we still give that amount. So then there's different, and then some people, their salaries are partially, federally funded and some are 100% county funded. So then you could go, I could probably dive into it for a week and never know like exactly.
And I
how
think
it's
some of that
supposed to be,
federally funding stuff is depending on what they,
what they've
that-
written, I guess.
that office is in, so. We are not tied into anything federal on that level, we're state
Okay,
is what we have access to, that's who we report to, and we would look to probably the Indiana State Soil and Water Board for the federal dollars is where that would end up coming into. Now, I'm not saying we don't benefit, residents don't benefit from that because there are several federal programs that are funded and that are trickled down through the soil and water, whether it be Clean Water Indiana, whether it be central or the Muscatatuck River, when they had that watershed go on, different watersheds have different programs. And through the years, as they open those up, said our supervisor's been the one to chair those,
Mhm.
to be the secretary, a bookkeeper, if you will, write the checks. All the money comes through her and she disperses those payments out. And like I said, in return for that, we do as a office, we get a small portion of that. So, which we have already,
right.
we have been funding different other interests within the county with this money that we've got over time. So,
So, and of the $12,000, what has been happening? So previously, we were cutting the $12,000 check to them. They were just adding that to their books and then they were paying out. Well, State Board of Accounts wants W-2s to happen for the board members. So now we keep it and then we pay out the board members at the end of the year and then we send the remaining amount out. So that, because they didn't have the technology or a separate number to report W-2s. So what I will probably do, and I'll work with Kristen and set up the other department. And I'll probably just list that board member pay separate because it doesn't really show that right now, so that you guys can see that in the future. It'll be her pay, the intern pay, the board member pay, and then that remaining amount. And go from there, I guess.
now as chairman of the board, as much as I'd like to be taking thousands of dollars from this, our pay is very minimal.
It's like $500.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not,
Like, I don't mean to say like but it should probably be broke
Yeah.
out separate, with, just for
but like I said, for everybody,
transparency.
y'all getting paid over there? No, it's
Not
minimal,
really paid,
so.
no more than what, like, any of the other smaller boards do. So, with your guys' approval, then, once you guys come up with an amount, I'll create that separate department
Good.
and send all that information to you
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Is there any questions for me?
I'm just glad you see
Yeah.
that moving.
We
Yeah.
met and then you two met. and-
Yeah, like I
It's
said,
been like
anybody
a
else have any
weird
questions about what we're
process.
doing out
Yes.
there or anything for the county?
Just maybe for the
No,
public and council's information, just give us a quick synopsis of how important the soil and water conservation
So,
board is.
so with that soil and water conservation, we also provide, services, I say services, Clean Water Indiana, we provide the resources to do for our livestock producers, put in heavy use pads, do waters, do interior fencing for their cattle, water runoff. Putting in, helping put in heavy use pads going back through the pastures or into the fields. All of that is engineered with the state, and then they will help fund that through those grants. And that's some of the stuff that we can do. We also have, we have 3 grain drills that we rent for the surrounding counties. They can do that as well. I think last year we put something like 2,500 acres on between all 3 of them. Is what they got to be used on. We get rent for those, so that helps maintain those as well.
mhm.
She also, the pollinator action group that was started through Soil and Water. And we kind of got that going. She's chair of that. Different programs that come down the pipe. So Clean Water Indiana, that's one of them. Central Muscatatuck, when that was going on, they had a different set of payments that they could do. she also helps engineer soil sampling for farmers. There's some programs out right now that you get free soil sampling. And that's paid for at a federal level and it is administered down. She helps administer that. Along with a host of other things, pasture revitalization, getting hay fields established and doing several other things. A lot of things, erosion, we're working with the Corps of Engineers trying to get, put a handle on that and getting farmers in touch with ways that we can do that. And that's very expensive when you start looking at all these different measures. And if we can get some guys to cost share with, and we can get these programs implemented, that's kind of where we're at and what she's doing. Is she's helping implement those. She's the one that, when you call out there, she's gonna look and see, well, where can we best get you the most money?
Mhm.
And what can we do? And we've got several people that we work with, even as going as far as setting up workshops for local, educational stuff, pond maintenance. We've done a couple of those. We did a forage workshop a few years ago, had Dr. Pohl come down.
Mhm.
Met him, he was at we did that at the Clifty Inn. So we had several things, we try to get several things lined up throughout the community that we can do that will incorporate not only farmers, but we got, we do the plant sale, so you got a pollinator group. People can get their flowers or their pollinators for the bees.
I didn't realize you did foraging, so
Mhm.
it's pretty neat.
Yeah, so like I said, anybody has, they wanna go redo their hay ground, we have to follow our guidelines. Like I said, we've had people before that be like, oh yeah, well, they turn in some receipts and they don't follow the guidelines. Well, you're not gonna get paid for that, but congratulations, you worked on your ground. But like I said, if you follow the guidelines that are set out and, you can get some money out of it, we'll help cost share with that. And that's kind of what we're about and just trying to get that out there. And then, what we have been doing with, some of these, water, runoffs and stuff with the subdivisions and stuff, we have a guy, James Hall goes through there and he helps work up the drain water on that. And so,
Didn't we have something downtown that we did at one time, this was years ago,
yes,
with the drain?
and he was probably part of that.
Mhm. We used some students from Hanover College to
Mhm.
assist with that.
Yeah, so he was part of that, and so any of the projects coming up through the county, whether it would be a new subdivision, a new. Depending on the jurisdiction, is if we can get a part of that or not, but if it can be anything from the energy that's being produced around here, different forms, renewable energy sources, different projects going on, they all come through depending on the acreage for that, and there's a fee to do that, and that's part of ours as well. So I mean, we're oversight on some of that other stuff, and that's what we're trying to do, is just to make sure that we're all getting our,
That's a lot.
yeah. So
When's your all's next meeting?
this Thursday,
Now, you're on that board, are you?
Am I on the board?
no, I don't know who's on, I don't know who,
I am solid waste, yeah.
I don't know who gets to come out,
We meet
anybody is
next
welcome at
Wednesday.
the public meeting, so it'll be, Thursday at 5:30 at the extension office out there at the fairgrounds. Anybody's welcome to attend. It's usually gosh, she has to send me a reminder. I think it's the first Thursday of the month.
Would you send me a reminder?
Sure will.
Please, email me. And with some of this other stuff that you're passing around.
Yes.
You may have already sent.
Yes, I'll make sure,
Please.
I will talk to
It was
Kristen.
included in my email that I.
I saw some.
I will get with Kristen.
And she's good about sending us mail.
Yes, she will
Inviting
send it
us.
to whatever email you have on file. But she will send that out and I'll make sure that she gets that. I don't know if she's watching right now. If she is, Kristen, go ahead and do that. And if she's not, I'll give her a call and, we'll get that sent out
Mhm.
and, we'll give her a meeting reminder notice. So,
Okay,
We're gonna try real hard to right this wrong.
yeah, that's fine. And like I said,
I feel like you dropped the ball.
yeah, it's, we gotta start somewhere. So like I said, we just one step at a time.
We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, no problem. And like, any other questions about soil and water or anything I can shed light on or
Like if,
Anything?
with subdivisions, you work with the planning commission of times
Yes,
to help them
yeah,
implement.
so that drop water drainage and stuff, yeah, so. James Hall is one that we use for that, like I said, he works with it, makes sure all of those are in compliance, and, we go from there. So,
Very good. Does anybody else have any more questions for
do
Jim?
what?
Here's your paperwork.
If you wanna keep it, you can, it's just printed off, if you wanna file 13, that's fine too.
Thanks for coming in.
Alrighty, thank you guys.
Thanks. Mhm.
See you later.
Okay.
Do you guys wanna recess again, or do you guys wanna work on anything, or do you guys,
I think we should reset.
okay,
Till 5:30?
That's my opinion.
Yes. Are you guys, yeah, are you guys okay with that till 5:30? Okay.